Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Phantom Knight Horus deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because the Horus package has taken Phantom Knights to a whole new level, helping you out with the consistency of this deck, helping you get cards to the graveyard, and also summoning boss monsters to your side of the field to just go in for some insane plays. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Torn Scales. Torn Scales is a definite 3 of in the deck, and it's probably one of the best cards in the entire Phantom Knight archetype because it has the ability you can discard a card to send a Phantom Knight card from your deck to the grave, which is an awesome ability just to foolish barrel the exact thing you need into the graveyard. It also has the ability if this card's in the graveyard and another Phantom Knight card is banished from the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card back to your side of the field but banish it when it leaves the field. We then play 3 copies of Silent Boots. Silent Boots is a definite 3 of in the build because this card can special summon itself to your side of the field if you control a Phantom Knight monster. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to add a Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is an awesome effect. We then play 2 copies of Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak is a great 2 of in the build because this card has an awesome ability. If this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it to be able to add the Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand, meaning you cannot add cards like Fogblade or your copy of Wings, but you can add your monsters or you can add the copies of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine. It has to have the in the name to be able to search it off this card, but this card is a definite 2 of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Ragged Gloves. Ragged Gloves is really good as a 1 of in the deck because you can banish this card from the graveyard to send a Phantom Knight card from your deck to the grave, which is a great ability just to get the exact card you need in the grave when you need it. We then play 3 copies of Imseti, Glory of Horus. This card is an amazing 3 of that helps you get to your copy of King Sarcophagus, which is just such a cool ability. And all of your Horus monsters actually share a really cool common effect that if you control King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard to your side of the field. This card also has a really awesome ability that you can actually send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card, to add King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. Then you can draw a card, which is a great ability just to be able to draw a card and get King Sarcophagus, because King Sarcophagus basically gets the entire engine rolling. It also has the ability if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in the monster zone, except during the damage step, you can send 1 card from on the field to the graveyard, which is such a good effect to be able to use with Imseti. We then play a single copy of Happy. Happy is a great extender in the deck as well because if you control King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, which is a great ability. And I love that about this card, and it's just such a great 1 of. We then play a single copy of Blessing of Horus. Blessing is also a good 1 of in the deck because this card is a great extender that can special summon itself back from the grave if you control King Sarcophagus, which is just great about this card. This card can also get really big because it has the ability that it gains 1200 attack and defense points for each Horus monster that you currently control, which is great because if you control your copy of Imseti, Happy, and this card, it will actually go up to 3600, which is crazy powerful. We then play 3 copies of Water Enchantress. Water Enchantress is a definite 3 of in the deck because this card helps you get to your copy of Rite of Arameser and then Fateful Adventure to help you get your copies of your adventure package started, which is just really good. We then play a single copy of Wandering Griffin Rider. Wandering Griffin Rider is a walking negate that we can search off our copy of Fateful Adventure, which is why we play this card as a 1 of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a fantastic 3 of in the build, basically just to stop your opponent from touching the deck, and it's an awesome hand trap overall. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda's really good in the deck because all of our Phantom Knight monsters are warriors, making it super easy to search the exact thing you need off of Rhoda. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is an amazing 1 of in the deck just to get the exact card you need in the grave when you need it. We then play 2 copies of Rite of Arameser. Rite of Arameser is definitely a 2 of in the deck because this card helps you get an adventure token onto your side of the field and helps you get Fateful Adventure on the field, which is just absolutely absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Fateful Adventure. Fateful Adventure is amazing in this deck because this card helps you get to your copy of Wandering Griffin Rider, and it's just such a cool card in this build. We then play a single copy of Dracoback. Dracoback works extremely well with the Adventure package, just as an awesome card to have as a bounce, which is just really, really cool. I absolutely love this card because when this card is equipped to a non-effect monster, which is going to be your Adventure token, you can target one card your opponent controls and return it back to the hand, which is a great ability. We then play 3 copies of King's Sarcophagus. This card is extremely important in the deck to be able to use with your Horus package, and a card you always want to see. And as you play, Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects that do not target them. And you can also send a card from your hand to the graveyard to send a Horus monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you can only use this effect of King's Sarcophagus up to 4 times per turn, which is insane because there's 4 different Horus monsters currently. But this card is amazing in the deck to help you get your different Horus monsters into the graveyard so you can just bring them back since you control King's Sarcophagus, which is just really, really cool. Also, once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if your Horus monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard, which is just bonus on top of being able to summon them out to your side of the field, which is just insane. This card is hands down one of the best cards out of Age of Overlord, and is just such a cool card in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Forbidden Droplets is really good in the deck overall as basically like a board breaker because it just deals with your opponent's field, halves your opponent's attack points of the monsters that you target with this, and it's just such a cool ability about this card. I absolutely love this card, and it's just really good overall in the deck to be able to use to basically break your opponent's board, negate a bunch of stuff on their side of the field, also getting cards from our hand to the graveyard, which is just really, really good. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine is really good in the deck as a 1-of, just to get you an additional monster on your side of the field so you can go in for rank 4 plays. And this card is overall fantastic in the deck because it has a really cool ability that lets you special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster that's a warrior type, dark, level 4, 0 attack, 300 defense points, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Phantom Knight's Wing. Phantom Knight's Wing is great in the deck as a 1-of because you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target the Phantom Knight monster in the graveyard and special summon it, but banish when it leaves the field, which is great just to extend your plays, especially since you can send this card to the graveyard with Imseti so you can get your King's Sarcophagus and have a monster reborn in the grave. We then play 2 copies of Fogblade. I feel like 2 is all you need for Fogblade. This card is like Fiendish Chain, essentially, that you actually get to target 1 effect monster on the field, negate that face-up monster's effects, which is really cool, but you cannot attack that monster and that card cannot attack. But this card is really good in the deck overall because you can also banish this card from the graveyard to actually bring back one of your Phantom Knight monsters back to your side of the field, which is such a cool ability. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is great in the deck overall, just have additional monster negates. This card is great in the deck to be able to use with your copies of Ash Blossom, your copies of Forbidden Droplets, just to have so many different interruptions for your opponent, and this card helps out a lot. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Rusty Bardige. Rusty Bardige is one of the most powerful cards in the entire extra deck because during your main phase, you can send the Phantom Knight monster from your deck to the graveyard to set a Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap card zone, which is great to be able to send something like your copy of Silent Boots to the graveyard to be able to set a copy of Fogblade and then use your copy of Silent Boots to set any other one that you need, which is just really, really cool. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is great in the deck as a 1-of, basically just to use this card as a multiple negate, which is just really helpful in this deck overall. Play a single copy of Dark the Dark Charmer. Dark is amazing in the deck because you can bring back cards from the graveyard to help you link climb, which is just amazing. Play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is great in this deck overall as a 1-of, basically just to have as a double interruption. If you don't have SP Little Knight, you can change this card out for Nightmare Unicorn, which is a budget option for this card, but if this card is link summoned using a Fusion Synchro Exile or Link monster as a material, you can target one card on the field or in either player's grave and banish it. Also, you cannot attack directly this turn. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including a monster you control, which will always be this card, and banish both until the end phase, which is a great ability. We then play a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is amazing to help you go in for SP Little Knight during the opponent's turn, or Appaloosa if you need to. A single copy of Cherubini, because being able to send level 3s to the graveyard is just really big in this deck and helps out a lot overall. I absolutely love that about the copy of Cherubini. It's just a great extender in the deck. Play 2 copies of Breaksword. Breaksword is super helpful to be able to pop cards on the field and also bring back your Phantom Knight monsters as level 4s, which is really cool. Because if this XZ summon card is destroyed, you can target 2 Phantom Knight monsters in your graveyard with the same level in your grave, special summon them both, and increase your level by 1, so you can step into something like an Evil Sworn Nightmare, which is just really good. Play a single copy of Lemonair, the Sea Dragon. This card lets you bring back one of your banished level 4 lower monsters, which is pretty helpful in the deck. Play a single copy of Evil Swarm Nightmare. This card is Walking Book of Moon, which is really helpful in this particular build. Play a single copy of the Zombie Vampire. You can make this with any 2 of your Horus monsters, helping you send 4 cards from either player's deck to the graveyard, and then you can special summon a monster back to your side of the field from among those 8 cards total that were sent to the grave, 4 from yours and 4 from your opponent's deck, which with Phantom Knights is insane to be able to do in this deck. Play a single copy of number 38, because this card is a Spell Negate, which is really good in this deck depending on your matchup. Play a single copy of number 30. Number 30 is a great walking negate as well that we can make with our Horus cards. This is what we usually make one of these 3 depending on what we're doing against our opponent to be able to use with the Horus cards. We then play a single copy of Zeus because we play a lot of XZs in the deck, and then finally a single copy of Typhon because Typhon is just insane. Plus this card is dark, so if you do dark lock yourself, you can still go in for some insane plays because you have Typhon. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy this. This deck is absolutely crazy now that we have the Horus package. I absolutely love it. It's super helpful. It's amazing how easy it is to make rank 8. It's really cool. I love the artwork, and it's just going to be in a lot of really cool decks. I absolutely love it in Phantom Knights, and it's just such a cool archetype. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.